Hello, this is professional real estate investor David Campbell from hassle-free-cashflow-investing.com. I am here on site in Vero Beach, Florida with real estate brokers and professional property managers Steve and Yvonne from Suncoast Realty and Rental Management. They're going to give us some great local insights into property management in Vero Beach, Florida, and also to give their candid, unbiased opinion about this real estate investment opportunity presented to you by Hassle-Free Cash Flow Investing. What are some of the best reasons an investor would consider buying a home in this specific home community?
You have a product that's basically brand new, so the maintenance costs are going to be down. The demographic is one in which we have the most tenants. So your initial outlay and repair costs are going to be down, leading to a higher return. It's centrally located. The people that live in the area usually have lived in the area prior, so they're settled in with their jobs. I think it's a great product. The price is right. The demand is there.
I also think the price is wonderful. For a 4-bedroom home to be leasing at $900 for a 4-bedroom home renovated in the condition that it's in, it's a great price. As far as history, I would have no problem in this area because I know it's easy to rent. I'm the property manager. We've had these properties for 6 weeks. We've rented 6 of them quickly. We have another 6 that we're working on, and we don't see any problems in renting those. We have a high demand. The calls are coming in. The area, it's pretty well established. And like Steve said, it's close to everything, to shopping, to US 1, which is a route going north and south everywhere. It's a great product. I would buy in here.
Great. Our company's brand is Hassle-Free Cash Flow Investing, and we really look to our property managers to help the client's investment experience be hassle-free. So how can your company, how would choosing your company for property management help our investors succeed with their rentals in a way that's hassle-free?
We understand our role. We are the property managers. We want to save you money. We just do our job. We collect rents. If there's a problem, we'll fix it. All right? If it's an exorbitant problem, we have to call you first. If we can't get in touch with you and it's going to affect the lifestyle of the lease, of the lessees, we're going to go ahead and take care of it.
We give a personal touch. In other words, before we send out a vendor to the home, we inspect the problem. I mean, sometimes they're very simple problems, like cranking a disposal or connecting wires, you know, for something to work, like a fan. And Steve does a lot of that work without charging the owners anything. You know, we don't spend the owner's money just frivolously. We want to make sure that the investment that each owner has is a sound investment and they're getting the most that they can from the property.
We don't get paid for, we're not on anybody's list, okay? Any vendor's list, we don't
collect any referrals, nothing.
nothing. We just collect management fees.
That's it.
So if somebody doesn't pay the rent, I get upset. Because I want to get that rent, I'm not getting paid unless I collect the rent. And that's all I'm getting paid on.
Also, we're known throughout the real estate industry here that we give an excellent product. In other words, if we have a home that we feel needs to be painted and our owner does not want to paint, we won't take the project. We won't take the rental. We want to make sure that if you want us to ask $1,000 for a home, it's in good condition, everything that needs to be fixed is fixed, and the place looks decent. We've had many owners that don't want to do anything, and we don't take those projects on. We want to make sure that, you know, we're giving a good product.
Great.
And we have tenants coming back. The people that you saw coming in here, these are tenants of mine, of ours that are in Vero Highlands. She came to this home because she knows this area. We talked to all of our tenants. We have other projects if you have anybody. She brought her family here. And if you heard any of her conversation, she's with us for 4 years. She would not rent another home if we were not the property managers.
So in this particular community, once a tenant moves out, how long does it typically take to get that property re-rented?
Usually within 30 days.
In our leases, we provide for the tenants to give us 60 days notice of either vacating or renewing. So we start marketing the property while the tenant's still there.
Do you have any concern with having such a high concentration of rentals in one neighborhood that it would be harder to get this community filled and at a high occupancy rate?
That's actually an advantage to me, because part of our working is, and our contract with our clients is to visit our properties on a normal basis. If we have a grouping of properties in a particular area, of course, that makes it easier to visit them all at once. With our vendors, it works well too, because if somebody has an AC issue, I can check ACs all at the same time. So it's an advantage to have a grouping of properties in one area. Absolutely.
Also, if you talk to the residents in the area, they're excited with what's going on here. There are some tenants that have been here for 15 years, and they can't believe what's going on now. So this is actually inviting people to start renting in this area.
What's the overall vacancy rate in the market, and what's your vacancy rate in your current management portfolio?
Our vacancy rate is less than 5%. It's excellent. In the market, here in Vero Beach, I don't know what the actual rate is. I haven't done the numbers, but we've never had any problems renting a property if it's priced reasonably.
If I were a real estate investor looking at your market and I wanted to understand what rental range was in highest demand, what are people really looking for in this area for bedroom count and also rent range?
3 bedroom, 2 baths, under 1,000.
I'd say 700 to 900 is 95% confidence interval right there.
Right, our 2 bedrooms go as high as 750. And then after that, we encroach into the 3 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms start at about 12. When you get into the 5 and 6 bedrooms, they go to a maximum of $1,500.
So having a 4-bedroom home under $1,000 seems like a very attractive thing.
Excellent, yes.
When we came here initially and we saw the product, I think we were more excited than Mike and Mark.
Yeah. Because it was a 4-bedroom.
Because we knew
and
what
the
we
condition
had.
of it.
We knew what we rent for the price range, and we saw the potential. We have since increased our staff only because of this.
We jumped on it, yes.
Can you tell me about your property management fees and how you structure the contract and what a new investor would expect when they're working with your company?
Our fees are 10% of the rent that we collect. So in this case, it's $90 a month per home. The service for that is, of course, collecting the rent, making sure that the property is being taken care of. Right now, with Mike and Marty, they do the lawns here in this area. I don't know how long that's going to continue, but when it stops, it's going to be up to us to make sure that the tenants do maintain the property. They're part of it. Like we said earlier, the fee does include a 3-day notice that we post after the 5-day grace period. If a tenant calls us for any concerns, we address them. We let the owner know what the concerns are. If we're dealing with our other properties that are single owners, we then get our vendors to give us estimates on the repairs. We address them with the owner, and we get the repair done.
We always will clear. We do have executive license. If there's an AC that goes out and it's July and I can't get in touch with the owner, I'm pretty familiar with what needs to be done based on experience. I will go ahead and have that done. I recently had a water softening system where the people came home at night. This was 9 o'clock at night on Saturday. Because of my vendor relationship, I was able to get one out there for only $50 on overtime charge, and we had to put a new pump system in. So that is advantageous for the owner.
Now also, our fees, we do have a deal set up with Marty and Mike that depending on how many homes we get, that fee will decrease.
Yeah, there's definitely a bulk rate. We are ones who expect a rate for bulk business on our end with our vendors, so we therefore will give it back to you.
That's terrific.
Now, we also charge 1 month's rent to rent these properties. So we're collecting the management starting month 2, not the first month that we rent.
So the very first month, there's a leasing fee, a tenant placement fee equal to a full month's rent. And then in the second month, you start collecting your management fee.
Management fees,
That's
yes.
correct, and we do not charge a renewal fee. So if Mr. and Mrs. Smith rented from January 1st to December 31st, we're going to renew them, there's no other fee. It's just continuous with our management at that point. If Mr. and Mrs. Smith move out of the property, then we have to market the property. We cooperate 100% with other brokers. That fee is split completely in half. When my associates have to go out and show other properties, because we don't have the inventory for those people to look at, we find quite often, I have not found a broker yet to offer me half the commission. Which doesn't make it it doesn't keep the incentive up for other brokers, for my people to show other brokers properties. Whereas, I have brokers from other companies calling me and saying, what do we have available, because we're giving them half. We're working on a long-term basis. We want this business from you for a long time. We want to manage the property. A lot of these companies that are putting homes up for rental, it's a one-time shop. They rent the property, they're done. Okay? We understand how business works.
So it sounds like one of your market advantages for leasing is you charge 1 month's rent, but you split that fee with a cooperating broker. And so there's a lot of local brokers that want to send you their clients because they know that you're going to cooperate in the leasing fee.
That's right.
When you get a new application for a rental, tell me how you screen the tenant and what are the qualities that you look for?
Their application, or our application, they have to write on their rental history. That's the best thing that I can use. I look at their credit. I often see R9s across the board. It doesn't eliminate a person.
We have a company called Acadata
that we
does
use.
our credit and criminal background checks, which is the cost of a tenant. Tenant pays for that.
Tenant pays for that. We make no money on it. It's
$25
$25 to
that's
run the
all
application, to run the credit and the criminal background check. So we're going to run the criminal and background check. If they're a violent criminal, that eliminates them. We don't take them. If they have an eviction, we don't take them. Okay? If they have, a lot of times I'll see medical, R9, 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 which is the worst you can have. Okay? There's collections. Doesn't eliminate a person. Okay? Oftentimes it's owner-based. We'll tell the owner, will you take this person? They have to show cooperating good credit if they have those R9s. For instance, a lot of people have medical problems, a lot of people have student loan problems. But if I see a bunch of ones for the car payment, and therefore they're still a viable candidate, I like to go to their house. Remember I told you often agents will just dump their client on me. Well, it sounds like I'm doing extra work, but it allows me to go ahead and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I get to go to their house. I get to meet their dog if they have one. I want to see how they live. Okay?
We have denied several people by just visiting their home.
Cool.
And we certainly don't want to start off with a bad tenant.
As-
It's not taking care of our
As a manager, yeah, we can't, okay, we're thinking in our head, as soon as we walk in, do we want to let this person in this house? Well, there was a time where you were so desperate for a tenant, you might consider it, if they paid their rent on time. We're not in that time right now. In our application process, I want to meet the people anyway. I'll go to their house and I'll say, just to see how they live.
Hey, you've got a tenant coming in.
All right,
Look at
I'm
the
going to
property.
excuse myself.
Yay.
I tell you what, I'll go show the house. You continue.
You're the star.
Okay, I'm the star.
Tell me about crime in this particular area.
This area of Gifford has had its share of crime. This particular area of Gifford, not so much. Gifford goes pretty far west, a couple of miles. Nothing too close to the Gifford Middle School, and that's just because of the rules in place that have to do with the middle school. You can't have certain type of people that live here. There can't be drug activity. There can't be any kind of sexual predators here. It is an area where it's a working class area, so you'll have more of that than in some of the other areas. But as far as violent crime, I know of none.
You mentioned this is a working class area. Where do the people typically work?
The demographic is in the health field, from what I've qualified, from the people that I've brought in here. Some of the orange groves, I've dealt with that. One of my recent tenants, Michelle, I'll withhold her last name. She works at the outlet store, she's a manager there. So you're getting your typical civil servants and your store managers and that kind of thing.
Good stuff. Tell me how you do the accounting for your property owner investors, how you distribute the income to them, and what the property management statements look like. Do you provide invoices? Tell me about your accounting systems.
Yes, we do. We have a program called Rent Manager. It is wonderful.
It's another plug.
Yes. That program provides for an owner statement every month showing the rents collected, any expenditures that might have been caused during that month. We will include the receipts. It will show the management fee taken out, and then it will show the balance going to you either in a deposit or a check along with that owner's statement. It's very detailed. You will not have any questions about it. We have escrow accounts where we hold security deposits if you wish us to do that. Each owner has their own security deposit entry. We have escrow accounts for our own sales and rentals, real estate portion of it, and then we have the owner's operating account, which is separate for each owner.
We scan all receipts, and so at the end of every month, you're going to get a copy of your income in, your expenditures out for each repair if you need one, minus our management fee, and it's going to show you your balance. And then at the end of the year, we provide you a 1099.
Right.
And any expense that
Detailed.
we have, it's
Right.
on your detailed owner statement,
Sure.
and it's monthly.
Is your company a member of NARPM, the National Association of Residential Property Managers?
No.
Does your company carry E&O insurance or any kind of fidelity bond?
We carry a liability of $1 million.
Has your company ever been involved in a lawsuit from a tenant or an owner?
Never.
No.
That's great.
No.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
Yes.
That's very impressive.
I used to
30
think-
years and no.
No.
I used to
lawsuits.
think
Not
that if you
one.
didn't have that, you're not doing enough business. But we have had a BBB complaint. But
That was a ridiculous.
it was ridiculous. But
We addressed it immediately.
we addressed it immediately, and it's
Because we don't want any bad, information about us. We addressed it immediately.
most of our clients are gruntled. This one was disgruntled, but it's because of their own.
And it
financial
wasn't an
situation.
owner, it was a tenant
That was a tenant. It was a tenant, and we were working on
that
behalf of
changed
the
our
owner.
lease unilaterally.
That's correct.
So,
Could you give me a great sound bite, a concise explanation of the eviction process from beginning to end? How long it takes, how much it costs, and who's involved in the process?
Let me start and you finish. Mr. and Mrs. Smith have not paid their rent. Their rent is due on the 1st of the month. It has now the 4th of the month, and so happens the 4th is on a Thursday. So I called Mr. and Mrs. Smith and I said, look, you have the 5 days to pay the rent, and it's coming due and I don't have it. If I don't get it on the 5th, I'm going to have to put a 3-day notice up. And what's going to happen is you are going to have to pay me before the 3 days are up. Now you have the weekend, so I put this notice up on Friday. So you're going to have Monday, Tuesday. If I don't get the rent by Wednesday, Thursday morning, I'm coming in and I'm going to put the 3-day notice up. Or no, I already put the 3 day. We're going to file for the eviction, okay? That eviction costs money. The only way that you're going to be able to stay in this home after that is if you pay the money that I already paid the attorney, because I don't want to evict you. I try to be as diplomatic as possible. I don't want to evict you. It costs the owner money. I'm not getting my fee. Okay, so let us put it on the table right now. We want you to stay in this house. Well, they called my bluff. I'm going to my attorney at my vendor rate, and I'm going to give him the money it takes to go ahead and file the eviction. The 3-day notice has now been satisfied. They haven't paid it.
summons.
The eviction
That's
summons.
the first step.
Now the attorney has it. He files it.
The eviction summons is a 5-day process. The tenant has 5 days to answer why they are not paying the rent or pay the money owed to the registry. If after 5 days the tenant doesn't do anything, then the attorney files a judgment for possession. And that could be a process of no more than 10 days.
Once you get the judgment of possession, what happens next?
Then we go to the sheriff's department, give them the writ of possession, and within 24 hours, they post a notice that you must move within 24 hours.
And let's pretend that the tenant doesn't move out once
Then
they're
the
posted.
sheriff physically moves
We
them
have
out.
to meet the sheriff at the property.
Yes, with the keys.
In a lock, with the keys or a
Well, we've
locksmith.
done it, we've done it, where
They
we
open the door.
physically move people out, their furniture, everything to the curb.
Right.
And then once you put their possessions on the curb, is the owner or the manager responsible for them?
No.
Or you can just
Nobody's
leave them?
responsible.
It is on our lease that they realize that everything, once, if they're either evicted or they just leave the property, we have the right to dispose.
That's actually very friendly.
Yes.
In some states, the owner's responsible for
Oh, that used to be here.
preserving the
Yes.
possessions.
Mhm.
We deal with a lot of people, and there's a lot of crazy people out there. And I try to be as diplomatic as possible because I do understand this. I keep all my personal emotions out as to, I just want to tell them to pay their rent,
If I asked a local some of the stereotypes about this particular area, what are the local people going to say about this part of town?
This part of town is new, right here. Gifford itself has a reputation for, I guess, blight or more of an urban feel to it. We right now are finding people very excited moving into the area because the ones that live in Gifford want to stay in Gifford, and they're thrilled with what's going on here.
They love the redevelopment here that's going on, and it's long overdue. I'm sure if you talk to some of the residents, they will tell you that it almost seems like this area was like a lost area for what's happening in Vero Beach. If you go through different areas of Vero Beach, you'll see that it's, the housing is much different. It almost seems like now in this area, they're getting more excited because it is being redeveloped, at least these blocks of homes here. And we're hoping it's going to continue for the area, so it will bring up this area, which has an A+ school. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, tell us about the schools in the area.
Yeah, well, the school is rated A+, which is the highest rating you could have as a middle school.
Terrific. Do you
One-
know? So the middle school is A+. What
Yes.
about the high school and the elementary school for the area?
The high school is Vero Beach. It rates A+ also, doesn't it? Vero? It's only
It's-
one
it's-
high school in Vero Beach, so everybody goes to Vero Beach High. The elementary school, there's so many neighborhood elementary schools, I'm not quite sure what
I
their
think it's
rating is.
Dodgertown Elementary School, named for the Brooklyn Dodgers. This is where their spring training used to be. They have since moved, but it's still Dodgertown Elementary, which was ranked pretty high. There's different magnet schools, there's Rosewood Magnet, but as far as the elementary schools, because of the zoning and the changes, it's hard to put a finger on which elementary school, but
Yeah.
they all do pretty well.
If you were considering buying a home in this community for investment, what are some of the positive reasons that would encourage you to invest here?
I would say the central location. This is the northern part of Vero Beach, but you have access to now Sebastian. Sebastian's a wonderful community, a lot of new things going on over there. But you also have access to everything in Vero Beach. Like I said, we're on the northern part of it. Being on the east side, it's all developed south of this area. So just a mile or two south, you have all the stores, everything new, restaurants. Anything that you can think of?
Well, as a realtor, it excites me, the history of this area, that people really don't want to move out of this area. So as an investor, I would think I would have renters that are long-term here. So for me, as an investment, it would be a great area to invest in.
Tell me what kind of development or redevelopment is happening in the area outside of this particular home community.
Well, we
Everything's
know-
moving west. A lot of stuff is moving west right now because a lot of the property here is developed. This particular area, Gifford Groves, is one in which a developer left it. They're shells of homes, but it's been taken over and it's coming in very positively.
There are some communities like Millstone, which is a higher priced area that is being redeveloped, which is very exciting. But those homes are all going to be in the 200,000 range. There are other areas that developers started in and left it. Those are being bought out by other developers, and we find that to be increasing, especially this year.
Important, the development that's going on over here right now is of a higher income level. There's nothing of this type project going on right now where you can get homes for $900 a month or buy them in the 80s or whatever, okay? Not like this, not brand new. It's not to be found. They're all in the resale, or a lot of them are, the ones that have been built that are in this bracket are being foreclosed in short sale. So those are running market. This is the brand new thing that's coming in as new, where this socioeconomic class can move into. There's nothing like it.
Yeah. You don't have to answer that you want to buy here. I'm looking for a candid answer. If you were a real estate investor from out of town coming to buy a property in the local market and have your company manage it, what would you encourage someone to buy and why?
I would encourage someone to buy this development right here. I'm excited about it. You have a great rental price of $900 for 4-bedroom, 2-bath homes that are brand new. You don't have this anywhere.
There's
Easy to rent. The tenants are not going to be leaving after a 6-month period. They have history here. You know, usually most of the tenants that we brought in here have relatives that live here. So I think that this would be a great area.
There's a lot more people in this price range than there are in the higher price range.
Right.
There is so many more. When we get a rental for $2,000 a month, I'm a broker. My associate brings this in. I'm actually happier with someone bringing in a rental for $1,000 or less because I have that much bigger chance of renting the property. So
You're able to get the most out of these properties. The Millstone area where the homes are 2,500 square feet, they're selling for just under 200, just over 200 in some cases, depending on the square footage. We can't rent those for more than 1,400, 13, 14. They're $200,000 homes. Those are hard to rent. That's not an area that we would be too excited about. It's not easy to rent. This area is easy to rent.
If this new home and community existed at the peak of the real estate market, what would a home like this have sold at the real estate boom times?
wow.
I can tell you exactly. Double the price, like maybe at the peak.
200,000.
No, I don't think it would be that high. I think it would be right around 160, 170.
Where do you think prices are going in the future? Our investors are really
They're
buying
going up, but it's a slow climb. We already started to feel it. They are coming up a bit.
We're on the front lines of the real estate market. We are the exact front line of the military of this real estate market. And what I've seen are the short sales starting to taper off. The foreclosures, they're still entering the market. So we're still ahead with supply, which means that the market's down. Because I get this question asked to me quite often. So when that starts slowing down, inventory now, or demand is going to catch up now more to inventory, and then we will see a price increase. I can honestly say the bottom has been hit, okay? The prices, can't tell you how quick they're gonna rise, but they definitely will rise.
Well, rentals have gone up 2 years in a row. It's a slow climb, but they have gone up. An average rental that would have been $900, the next year it's $1,000. If it was $1,000, it's about $100 increase. 10%, I'd say, on average.
Have rents come down from the peak of the market?
Yes, considerably, yes.
Yeah.
And they have now 2 years in a row climbed up, starting to climb back.
We have tenants saying, well, we'll continue renting here if you lower our rent. We have power now.
We've done it. We've done it just to keep the tenant.
If the tenant is a wonderful tenant, but you don't have to now.
No,
You don't
not
have to.
today. That's true, not today.
Jeremy, won't say his last name, has a property he's been renting for $800 a month. Just told his tenants he's raising his rent to $850 a month.
They've been there for 4 years.
They've been there for 4 years. It's just a
They've
trend
gone
we're
down,
seeing.
they have gone down to 7,
The tenants had the power before,
yes.
they don't have it now. Because they're gonna go try to move into another house and it's not gonna happen, because they're not coming down.
Well, originally, that home rented for $850, came down to 7, and now we're going back up to 8. So, it is increasing.
Tell me about the population of the area and where you think it's going in the future.
I think Florida is a great state, people will keep coming.
The problem here is it's worldwide with jobs. There's not a lot of manufacturing, there's a lot of, we do have the outlet stores, we do have orange groves, we do have the healthcare profession, there's a lot of CNs here, or CNAs. That's not going away. Piper is a company that does a lot of employment. They're an aircraft manufacturer. They employ quite a lot of people.
They're about 30% of our.
None of these companies are going away.
Mhm.
All right, there's new contracts signed with Piper that I know of. I don't see the job market increasing tremendously right away, but it's not depleting. So those same people here are not leaving the area. Gifford, people that live in Gifford want to stay in Gifford. They make lateral moves. Okay, we have examples of that constantly. But the job market's not great. It's not great, but it is here and it's not getting worse.
But also know this, because of our market, our new tenants are homeowners that have lost their homes. So a good percentage of the new tenants are those type of tenants that have lost their homes either to foreclosure or short sale.
And it's not because they're bad people. It's
because
because they got into the
right.
wrong mortgage.
Right.
Who's responsible? That's a political question I refuse to answer. But it's the honest to God, we have a tremendous amount of new tenants because of that.
Yes.
So what I hear you saying, population seems to be stable, employment seems to be stable. There's no supply of housing at this price point coming on the market because you're trading so far below replacement costs.
Mhm.
You can't go build a new house of this quality for $75,000.
You can't.
Nope.
So the new supply that's coming online is $200,000 and up,
Mhm.
and you can't rent that to make any kind of sense.
Mhm.
The line on a graph is upward sloping. I can't tell you the angle of that line, but it is definitely upward sloping.
Thanks so much for your time and attention. We all know that real estate property management is one of the most integral parts of your success. If you like the opportunity that you're seeing in Vero Beach, Florida, please reach out to our team. You can contact Jim Thielen, jim@hassle-free-cashflow-investing.com, and let you know how to take advantage of this wonderful buying opportunity in one of the most gorgeous markets in the country to go vacation. And I think you'll really like the cash flow here in Vero Beach, Florida.